I was just thinking, how weird is it that we come here as physical beings to this plane, this planet, you know? And it's kind of funny to imagine that it's the only one, and we just kind of manifest as these physical bodies that feel pain and no time, and feel the time ticking away. But there's some sort of weird trade that goes on in experiencing this, right? Because we leave something ethereal for something physical, and then we trade those bodies for those forms that can't feel and taste and experience each other in a physical sense. We trade those for this, and it must be something profoundly appealing to celestial beings, or whatever we are in the spirit world before we enter the flesh. It must have quite a lure, because the trade, the cost is great, and that we don't stay in this form, and we have to suffer, and we have to ultimately die. That's the trick. That's the cost, right, of being human. So is it that? Is that how this happens? We come in from each other's wombs, we enter this space, and we live out some days. The clock is ticking after birth. And then as we age, our bodies break down, some more rapidly than others, and we know our time here is about up. And it reminds me of addictive drugs, you know, like maybe in the spirit world we're hooked on the idea of doing this visceral thing, this challenge of, you know, like going on a safari or going in the jungle, deep in the jungle, and surviving. We're challenged, we're enthralled by the idea. I'm just speculating, but what would drive us to come here, so many, knowing that we would have to die? And I just think it's really interesting. I've thought about this always through my whole life, but now I'm getting this kind of whole picture of, I never really thought of that in the sense of it being a big a trade, and that it is like the rush of a drug, and drugs are ultimately just eviscerate you in the end. They just take everything you have in the end, and that's the cost. That's the cost of the experience, right? What are you going to have to pay to come down here and to swim and to skydive and to love and to make love and to read and write and do things both mundane and epic and in this form? What's the cost going to be? And what were you before, and what will you be after? I don't know. It's just something to think about as you make your way through the day. What were you? What are you now? What will you be in the end? And how short is it? It's 80 years, man. It might sound like a lot when you're a little kid, but I would venture to say it doesn't when you're 75. And then we all have our ideas of where we go after this is over. And so many of us think, well, we recycle, we do it again. And I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with everything except for the whole Judeo-Christian punishment and reward thing. I think that's a more personal thing to whatever spirit and whatever experience it has or needs. Anyway, just some stuff I've been thinking about here on my walk today, and just just a little challenge to think about it again if you have already, or now if you haven't ever. Where'd I come from? Where am I now? Where am I going? How does it all relate? Also, what menu are we selecting from when we come back? Will we come back to this kind of incarnation? Will it be another planet that doesn't resemble this, in another shape or form that doesn't resemble these? Will it be a place, if you will, with no space and time? Is that a place? Are there many types of manifestations and locations, and is it all just a dream? Hey, I don't want to leave you hanging, but so have we done this? That's a good question. How many times and places have we done and been? And or do we want the same old? Is this the only thing on the menu for next time? Who knows? I'm just very suspicious of this whole concept of you come, you do this once, you die, you're judged good or bad, and you go to your location for your designated place of reward or punishment for all eternity. Nah, this is a little more sophisticated. And is it even real? What is this? Is it reality, or just some construct of some larger intelligence? I don't know. Am I even still lucid after my stroke? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It seems similar. It's not as clear and everything. I'm very confused about a lot of things. Like I said, like reading and writing. Well, writing's okay, but reading is a real challenge still, weeks after. And I guess it causes me to revisit my questions, my curiosity about all of this, about the grand illusion, or whatever you want to call it. And I know that this might be quite rudimentary to some great thinkers, but what else have we got? This is kind of the stuff that exists between birth and death. When you look at the large picture, we all kind of have the same questions in the end. And what is that saying? Death is the great equalizer in the end, isn't it? And not that any of that matters, but yeah, I don't know. What do you believe? You got one shot? You're just here on safari, and you're going somewhere else next week, next millennium. All right, anyway, talk more soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.